A media business is one of the worst things that you can start. There is almost no barrier to entry. Anyone can start a YouTube channel, a blog, a newsletter, or a Twitter account. At the same time, when it hits scale, it is one of the best businesses that you could possibly own. Media, like software, scales infinitely. There is zero marginal cost to deliver a video or a newsletter to one additional person. As you get more users, as you get more viewers, revenue goes up, but costs do not. Hence, why so many entrepreneurs want to be media moguls. As we look back just over the last 5 years, we could find a graveyard of failed media enterprises. And yet, Shaan Puri and Ben Levy have successfully scaled their email newsletter, The Milk Road, to more than 150,000 subscribers in less than 6 months. In today's video, we're breaking down how they might become the morning brew of crypto, the strategies that they have employed to such fantastic growth, and at the end, we'll make a bold prediction about their future. Fun fact, did you know that 5 US states produce more than 50% of all US milk? Wisconsin, California, Texas, the state of New York, and you're never gonna guess this one, Idaho. In the book Hitmakers by Thompson, the author outlines the principles and the frameworks that consistently show up when evaluating artistic movements, pop songs, and other pieces of culture and media that rise above the noise. We will use 4 key takeaways from his book to break down how the Milk Road became so successful. The Maya rule, the power of repetition, the fashion of communication, and the myth of the viral hit. Maya stands for most advanced yet acceptable. 2 of the most common mistakes that one can make when starting any new enterprise is trying to be too bleeding edge, too cutting edge before the market is ready for it, or so perfectly replicating something that already exists as to be indistinguishable from that which we already consume. You need to occupy a space in the middle of that Venn diagram that takes both something new and something old in order to blend together into a novel solution. Another successful crypto media entrepreneur, Jason Yanowitz from Blockworks, understood this intuitively.
Like our website, we got a lot of inspiration from the Wall Street Journal and from Bloomberg. And the reason is, like, when you think about our target audience, we are talking about some weird stuff, right? Like Sushi Swap versus Uniswap and liquidity provider, like automated market makers. And now we're talking about NFTs and this metaverse stuff, and like goes over most people's head, right? And that's our job to break that down and make sure it doesn't. The easiest way to make it feel comfortable for folks is not pushing the boundaries on everything, right? So we push the boundaries on content with the industry that we cover. So that means we need to make sure that the design language and like how things feel is very, very comfortable.
Ben and Shaan were not reinventing the wheel when they started sending a newsletter in 2022. That medium was already very well established, decades old in fact. Where they were at the cutting edge was talking about crypto right in the middle of a hype cycle, while the vast majority of people still didn't really understand what was going on. What they needed was a voice that could make sense of the chaos, simplify, akin to how the Morning Brew had approached business news, to make crypto approachable, friendly, and simple to understand. All great marketers know that repetition is key to reaching your target market with your message. They hear it once, it's in one ear, out the other. But in addition to blasting out your message with regularity, the same premises need to be reinforced over and over again so that the listener comes to expect what's next and it starts to become a habitual process. If they have no capacity to anticipate what the next experience will be, that's not a pleasant experience. People don't like the unknown. They like the vaguely familiar, hence the Maya design. The Milk Road, in their email newsletter format, have a very consistent theme, writing style, and quirky inside jokes that a regular reader will come to expect from their favorite crypto newsletter. This takes the form of Vitalik Buterin memes at the end of every email. All of these principles roll into the next point, which is the fashion of communication. They didn't launch the Milk Road on TikTok. Instead, they invested in the most reliable and established form of digital communication on the internet. They also had an inside advantage because Shaan is good friends with Sam Parr, the founder of The Hustle. Sam built an email list of over 2 million subscribers and eventually exited his company to HubSpot for tens of millions of dollars. But the fourth and final most important point is the viral myth. To an outsider, they would look at a book like 50 Shades of Grey and think, wow, that came out of nowhere to be one of the best-selling books of all time. The reality is that the author had been writing in fan fiction forums for decades and had an established audience and understanding of what that audience wanted before finally publishing a bestseller. The same is true with Shaan and Ben. In addition to being a co-host of My First Million, one of the fastest growing and most successful business podcasts on the internet, Ben and Shaan have been starting businesses together for a very long time. They have already built followings on Twitter, podcasts, YouTube, and other platforms in the past, have built companies and scaled revenue so they understand the nature of building those advertiser relationships, and they know how to vet the partners that can grow along with them. Beehive, their email newsletter technology platform, is built from the same tech that scaled the Morning Brew. I spoke with Tyler Dank, the founder of Beehive, about what makes their platform so powerful.
They didn't have any content, they didn't have any emails, they didn't even have the Milk Road domain. I think they actually started with milkroad.xyz and then pivoted to milkroad.com and basically had nothing. Came to us, we even set up the DNS with them. They benefit for sure with Shaan's audience and the podcast and everything else, but to see them go from 0 to 100,000 plus in 4 months and to use our tech, our infrastructure, our referral program, which I won't give the exact number, but has led to a large percentage of their growth through the referral program. It's definitely, yeah, it's incredible to see. And it's also, I think, to hone in on their referral program in particular, a lot of people look at Morning Brew and other newsletter referral programs by having like 5 or 6 different rewards. There's coffee mugs, there's t-shirts. And I love the Milk Road case study of it's a single reward at one referral, and it's just a PDF about the crypto markets. So simple. It aligns directly with the core thesis of what Milk Road stands for and like what their audience is subscribing to obtain that type of information. And they didn't complicate it by having 5 or 6 different rewards. So I always thought that was a pretty interesting case study. But yeah, I mean, they have had tremendous success on the platform.
So I promised you a prediction about the Milk Road. Well, here it is. I predict that within the next 12 months, they will hit 1 million subscribers to their newsletter. The Ethereum merge is happening imminently. It may have already happened by the time this video is out. And that is going to stimulate a ton of interest in Ethereum and crypto generally. Vitalik is the patron saint of their newsletter business. And I think that 1 million in newsletter subscribers will catapult them to an eventual valuation of over $100 million. They're not in 1 year. If you think I'm full of shit, let me know in the comments. And if not, hit subscribe and check out another video on the channel.